it's Linda here. Thanks for joining me today as I play with these goodies for Scrapbook Boutique. I fell in love with that Brad the Reindeer die from Cheery Lynn Designs, and I just couldn't wait to play with it along with this sweet Echo Park Buffalo Plaid Stencil. So I had a bit of fun just on a rough bit of scrap paper first with the stencil and a couple of different distress ink and distress oxide combinations, and that was just to sort of see what colours I might use behind Brad. So then it was time to get Brad out of the packet for the first time and cut him apart with my wire snips and cut off all those little pokey sharp bits that you don't want. It was then time to start die cutting all my pieces for Brad, and I decided that I'd use some scraps of cardstock that I, keep in a basket, and I went to it and grabbed out a few different tones of brown that I thought would work together for all Brad's little facial pieces, and then it's just a matter of die cutting each of those and making sure the colours all work well together. I wanted the texture of the basil cardstock on some of the pieces, so I've used the dye on the brown antlers so that the front part is a little bit textured, so it gives them just that bit of more of a detailed look. And his little collar, I end up cutting in a few more different colours just to see which one I like the most. And I'm just putting all the little pieces together and getting an idea for how it's all going to look, and also what size it will be, because it's always good to just lay out these things and get an idea of how large. So then it was a matter of putting Brad onto some of the pieces that I'd been practicing on and working out which colours I like the most. I ended up with the collar here going with the light green, which I thought matched up with my ink blended background the best, and I ended up choosing some foiled cardstock for the nose, just so he'll have a nice red shiny nose, more like Rudolph, not so much like Brad. So then it's a matter of getting my ink blended stenciled background ready. This piece is going to lie on the card front behind Brad or Rudolph and I'm just sticking it down in place with some painter's tape, and then using two colours of distress oxide. I do love the oxides, they're so easy to blend with, and seriously this just went on so easily. I didn't have to blend off anywhere first, just straight on, and it was beautiful, smooth as anything. So this one of course is the gorgeous twisted citron, and then I gently peeled it back just to check that I'd got good coverage. A couple of the little tiny lined parts didn't quite show as well as I wanted, so I just go over those again to get a little bit more coverage. Then I moved my piece and turned it in the opposite direction. Lay my stencil after I'd cleaned it off, lay it down again, and thought about how I was going to arrange my pattern, and I moved it like that, as you see, and I quite liked the way that looked, so I thought I'm going to do it like that and see what my plaid turns out like. So sticking it down again, grabbing the distress oxide in Candied Apple, and again it's so smooth, it's so beautiful the way that it just blends on over that stencil. There's no worrying about it, being splotchy or streaky. It's just beautiful on that Strathmore Bristol smooth cardstock, which is what I'm using today. then time to adhere that stenciled piece onto the centre of my card front itself, and it's a top fold card base that I've got organised there. I've laid Rudolph out, got all these little pieces where I want them, getting an idea of how much room he'll take up, and then I'm using this little Merry die from last year, and I'm cutting it out of the red foil card again, just laying it along the bottom there, and then I also cut it from some white craft foam, add my liquid adhesive and adhere the red version on top, let that dry in place before I detach it from the rest of the foam piece. Cut these pieces also from craft foam, just so some of them have got more dimension than others, and lay it all out ready to go and stick together. So the head is backed with craft foam, just sticking the little collar in place. The antlers are not stuck down yet, I've just laid them in position. The head, once I stick it on top now, will help hold the antlers where I want them, and then I'll just be able to add some liquid adhesive to parts of the antlers on the back, because I do want to lift up some of those little pokey antler pieces, whatever they're really called, I don't know. I do want to lift those little ends up just to get a little bit more dimension on my card at the end, so I don't stick them down perfectly. So, a bit of glue on everywhere. The liquid adhesive that I tend to use the most is Expresset Triple Tack Glue. I buy a 250ml bottle and I pour it into my little fine tipped bottle, as you can see me using there. Just grabbing a tissue, wiping off some of the excess there, where his little eyes are, and then on goes his lovely shiny little red nose, and I give that a bit of a wipe too, because of the foil picking up fingerprints and little sticky bits. It's just nice to wipe it off and shine it up a bit. And he's looking so adorable. He really is a lot of fun. A little bit fiddly to make, but I just love the look of him, and I think I'm going to have a lot of fun making all different sorts of Brads or Rudolphs over the Christmas season this year. Be able to colour him, be able to use patterned papers, ink blending, all sorts of ways of colouring him in. I think I'll have a lot of fun. It's just a matter of adhering all the little bits together, adding my sentiment, and my card is finished.